Denley, Tate Thompson and Oyinkan Braithwaite. Both Azim and I are on the board of the Crime Writers Association, and we've been privileged to witness an explosion of crime and mystery writing by writers of all colours and ethnic backgrounds, winning awards and enjoying critical acclaim, as well as opening up a whole new readership in the process. Back in 1995, American writer and critic Paula L. Woods welcomed the emergence of African-American crime writing in an excellent anthology, Spooks, Spies and Private Eyes, which was half historical and half contemporary, and included two of our contributors, respectively Walter Mosley and Brit Mike Phillips. We felt the time was right for another great festschrift of how our genre has evolved, and so this volume is a celebration of new voices in the genre. In an effort to highlight how diverse crime fiction has become, we cast our net as far as we could. Gathered together in one volume for the very first time are authors from a variety of cultural and ethnic backgrounds, including African American, Asian, First Nation, Aboriginal, Latinx, Chinese American, Singaporean and Nigerian. There was no way all the writers on our personal hit list could be featured. Some had too many commitments to deliver a brand new story within our deadline, while others felt more at ease with novel-length fiction. But all were supremely encouraging and offered suggestions of other writers who could take their place. So, a bow of the fedora to Dorothy Comsoon, Dredda Say Mitchell, Sujata Massey, Kelly Garrett, Korsha Newland, Attica Locke, Nalini Singh, Kurum Rahman, Steph Shah, Joe Ide, and the late Eric Jerome Dickey, who sadly passed away before he could write his story and will be sadly missed. We would also like to extend our thanks to Ayo Onatade and Craig Sisterson, two respected genre critics, who proved most helpful in making suggestions for authors to be considered and helped us to get in touch with some of them. And of course to our editor Julie Wisdom at HarperCollins, who immediately connected with our book proposal and showed great enthusiasm while garnering invaluable in-house and international support for the book. Maxim Jakubowski.
Watershed moments, bright new dawns. Over the past 2 decades, there have been various initiatives to bring more diversity into the publishing industry. Most have proven to be stillborn, poorly executed, or swiftly run aground on the shoals of antipathy. This time feels different. This time the stars have aligned, the desire to create a more equitable publishing environment matched by a wider desire to engineer a fairer society. If the Black Lives Summer of 2020 taught us anything, it is that it is no longer enough to simply talk about the need for change. Diversity in the publishing industry holds a very personal meaning for me. I wrote my first novel aged 17. Over the next 20-odd years, I wrote 6 more novels, collecting enough rejection letters to wallpaper a house until finally receiving a 4-book deal for my first crime series set in India. The interesting thing about that long journey is that only one of those novels featured any non-white protagonists. As an avid reader, I had taken on board the idea that books of the type that I was trying to write, genre fiction or commercial fiction, simply didn't feature non-white characters. In my mind, I could only hope to be published by writing white characters, because those were the sorts of characters readers wanted to read about. Of course, my thoughts on this have changed dramatically in recent years. In the summer of 2021, my 7th novel, Midnight at Malabar House, won the Crime Writers Association Superior Historical Dagger, another marker of the unwavering support I have received from the crime fiction industry. The genre is leading the effort to bring more new voices to the fore and should be commended. The case for diversity is overwhelming. If we believe in a fair society, then we must recognize that barriers disadvantaging certain groups do exist, whether conscious or unconscious. More importantly, fiction, especially crime fiction, provides a lens onto society. Literature is a powerful means by which we can change that society for the better. As individuals, we often formulate our views about the world through artistic media. Thus, when we underrepresent minority backgrounds in our artistic output, we run the risk of aiding divisiveness rather than helping to correct it. The industry makes assumptions about audiences. One prominent assumption is that white readers won't relate to stories about non-white characters. Because of this, we end up with a phenomenon known as comping, the comparing of books that might be published to those already published as a way of judging how successful the new acquisition might be. Clearly, this leads to a vicious cycle.